What's up, guys? Today I'm going to show you how I got obliterated today while still having the correct bias. So going into the market, I was very bearish at the start of the market, and oops, I don't want to do any of that. But the reason was for that is because we started to sell off. We took internal and we got a change in the state, and we had a lot of selling pressure to the downside, right? So maybe we'll continue to this original consolidation level right here, and we'll see lower. I thought we would go here, and we ended up doing. So around the time, so 940 is when I have my rules set into change. We come in and what do? We soup this high inside this 5 minute imbalance, right? Let me delete some of this stuff. So we soup this high inside of this 5 minute imbalance, and it also becomes an SMT, right? So it's an SMT inside the 5 minute imbalance. We have an SMT at this low here, but I'm also looking at that as a generated low for ES because ES was literally 0.5 away from taking that low. So when we come down and start to respect this 5 minute, we inverse this on the 1 minute, but looking back on it now, we never inversed it on the 3 minute or the 2 minute. So it never was a true inverse. And so that's where I fucked up, not recognizing that. But once that got inversed on the 1 minute, I saw this imbalance too. I said, okay, a bearish inside of a bullish after inversing the bullish. I'll go short off that bearish imbalance, and take it to this low, because if ES is going to take this low, NQ will probably take this low. Whoops. We'll probably take this low. So I ended up getting stopped out right away, and at that point I'm like, okay, I'm going to reconsider and I'm going to kind of reevaluate what's happening inside the market. So I look back and I'm like, okay, well, we kind of have a 5 minute change in the state, right? We kind of have a market structure shift of some sort to the upside, okay. And I'm like, well, if I'm going to go long, I want to see this 5 minute imbalance get inversed to go to this external high. So that 5 minute imbalance does end up getting inversed after respecting all these and inversing this down here. So I'm like, well, okay, I'm recognizing that the buy model is to the upside, right? Like, this is our model here. We have our smart money reversal down here. We have our buy up, our change in the state, our comeback to rebalance, and continue higher. Once this gets inversed, I enter one con on the pullback, and I add one more. So my average fill came to around here. And so we buy up, and I go break even right away. But the reason I go break even right away is because we go inside this 15-minute imbalance, right? And we could have retraced inside here, and I didn't want to have to deal with that because we could still be bearish because ES took this high right here. So when price comes up, enters this imbalance, I rush straight to break even just to protect myself. Because it's all about protecting capital, right? So I protect myself from there. We end up coming out, chopping me out, and I'm like, okay, break even. So then I'm like, okay, let's recognize where price is. We're clearly buying up. We have higher time frame breaks and structure to the upside. We inverse this 5 minute. We have a 4 minute right here. And I'm like, okay, well, that makes sense. We just retraced to discount, right? And that's why I got stopped out. I didn't have the best fills, and we're kind of just retracing to an imbalance near discount. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, I'm still super confident we're going to go to this high, though. So I'm like, okay, once this 1 minute gets inversed, I'm going to enter long. It's going to be very easy, short and easy, sweet. We're so close to this high. We shouldn't retrace at all. It's going to be a nice, simple, trade like this. Well, complete opposite. Get bought up, and 10 a.m. comes, news comes out, wicks me out, then we slowly go to the high. Yeah, so I'm very happy with the trades overall, though. The first trade, right, could have been avoided. Could have zoomed out a little more to recognize what was really happening overall. Happy with myself, able to recognize this buy model and stuff like that. If you want to join my free Discord, link in the description, by the way. I think sometimes price just gets weird, and for example, today price just got weird. I was trying to think of maybe ways I could have got out of this and not stopped out, but I don't think that there's many ways that if I'm entering off this inverse on the 1 minute, I don't think there's many ways I don't get stopped out. I think this news wick was crazy. There was no reason for this. It's kind of wicked. Get it? Haha. But it just happens, and I was able to have the correct bias, but sometimes the market's just ugly. And looking back on it, the best trade to take would have been when we put in this SMT down here. We buy up, rebalance, never disrespect this imbalance, right? And then once we inverse, this 1 minute down here, this would have been the best entry to take to these highs, and you could edge your stop, at the body or something like that. This would have been the best trade that eventually played out. It happens. It's not the end of the world, right? I'm not raging. I followed my rules. That's all that matters, and there'll be more money to be made, more trades to be taken. It's all about consistency. It's all about staying true to yourself. You're not gonna win every trade, but if you follow your rules, it's okay. Um, yeah, just a tough day overall. The action was kind of freaky today, in my opinion. It made sense though because we sold off Monday and Tuesday, so there's kind of no reason to continue to sell off. But yeah, but other than that, that's all I have for you guys. I am out of here. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. I will be live tomorrow on my Discord if you would like to join and talk to me. Thank you guys so much. God bless.